Everyone, thanks Mustaq for giving me the opportunity. Thanks Sabia, thanks Mr. Haider for being here. Previously all the speakers spoke about different projects and everything. I'm not going to speak about anything about live project and anything. So Shabia come up with the idea that we all might be good at something. Can we organize a session with others, and whatever strong area you have, you can teach others, right? So I'm somebody who is very enthused about the stock market and other things. So I thought I'll organize a session with the guys and try to see what we can learn from each other, right? So the whole idea was a peer learning initiative. I'm gonna focus on the learning part for first 2 3 minutes. Why learning is important. So in my next slide, you can see two great men, Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. I think most of you know Warren Buffett. Anybody heard Charlie Munger here? Okay. So these two guys is the chairman and the vice chairman of the Berkshire Hathaway. What is Berkshire Hathaway? It's a $450 billion market cap company in US. It's the biggest conglomerate, and these two gentlemen is running that company. So these two guys are very successful. Why they are successful, what they have achieved will come next. But whenever they have been asked what is the reason behind their success, they always say they are learning machines. Every day they are learning something or the other, right? So I'm just giving one anecdote what these two guys have achieved, right? They are managing the fund called Berkshire Hathaway for last 65 years, last 56 years, and they have compounded shareholder with 20% CAGR for last 56 years against S&P 500 10.2% CAGR. So those who are not understanding the CAGR, I'll give you an example, you'll understand, right? Let's say in the 1965, you have been given 1 lakh rupees and asked that you go and put that money in the index fund, which is S&P 500, and you give your money to these two gentlemen to manage it. Currently, what will be the valuation if you put in the index fund? I am giving you the number. It will be 2.3 crore. Just guess. If you could have been given these two guys, what will be the current market cap of that particular investment? Any random guess, guys? Sham? Any guess? Shabia? So the current valuation of that 1 lakh investment in 1965 is worth 270 crore. So if you put in index, you are gonna get 2.3 crore. These two gentlemen has given a 270 crore to you. So this is unimaginable. You cannot even sane mind can think that this can be achieved. And these two men achieve over 56 years. So why they are so successful for last 56 years? They have done something which nobody has done ever. So whenever they have been asked, they are saying that we are a learning machine. Where daily basis 3 to 4 hours we do reading, we keep on learning daily basis. And then his advice to the younger generation that as Mr. Buffett said, the best investment you can make in invest in yourself. The more you learn, the more you want, right? So everybody of us, there's a great talent pool here. Somebody might be good at finance, somebody might be good at sales, marketing. If we can come together, organize a session, and can learn from each other, it will be great experience for everyone else. Mr. Munja said that spend every day try to be little wiser than you were when you woke up. So what is trying to mean is that every day try to be little wiser. If you live long enough, you're going to achieve whatever you desire, right? So in this peer learning initiative, what are you going to achieve, right? I'm coming there. So first of all, you can learn from others at the workplace, right? And grow. So for example, I'm a finance guy, right? I don't have much exposure to the sales. Like lots of people are doing different projects, I don't have any exposure there. But I listen to them and learn so many things they are doing it. Similarly, somebody from the sales guy might not have exposure to the finance side. They can come and I probably can add value to their learning job as well. So this is a way you can learn from each other. Second thing is that when you organize such sessions, when you interact with the many people, what happens actually, you energize the workforce. You create a strong culture where if there is a connectivity, there is a collaboration among the peers, and that actually uplift the inflow of the entire flow, right? Let's say in a month we are meeting together and organize one session kind of this, then probably you can ask me questions, I can ask you questions. We build a good relationship. So the relationship based on knowledge, based on experience, and based on desire to grow, right? These are the things we're going to achieve. Now coming to the next point, Shabia asked me that what are the topics you have chosen for this particular initiative? The first thing I have chosen finance for non-finance people. Now, I was reading one book, it's called Romancing the Balance Sheet, written by Mr. Anil Lamba. There he argued that any corporate, very casually people use finance and non-finance people. He said, I don't understand why somebody will be called non-finance. Because everybody in any organization working, be it sales guy, marketing guy, they have only one job, to contribute to the bottom line of the company. then everybody is working to the bottom line of the company. How come they can call themselves as a non-finance guy? It's a very legitimate question, right? Guys, now come to the next point. If everybody is finance guy, if I establish the fact, then the question is that how many of you are comfortable with balance sheet? How many of you are comfortable with the P&L statement and cash flow statement, right? I think no, those who are not working in the non-finance account area, maybe not that familiar, right? Now, I'm giving one example why understanding is important, even the cash flow, even you are not working in the account area. So let's say you have a business proposition having very strong balance sheet of that particular company. You have a company which has a very strong balance sheet, having ability to make profit, but the company is not generating enough cash. Will the company be sustainable, right? So there's an analogy used. Let's say one car having 4.5 liter engine has the ability to run at 150-160 km per hour, but not having any fuel. If the car don't have a fuel, even you have a 4.5 liter engine, has the ability to run at 150-160, the car will not move. Similarly, in business, you need to have cash flows. If you don't have a cash flow, the company will not be sustainable, right? So in that particular session, what I thought that I'll organize a session where I can talk about the balance sheet, cash flow statement, P&L statement to the people who are not working the accounts, might be in the category, might be the sales, might be the marketing, and try to make them understand the basic construct of the balance sheet, right? How the balance sheet can be built is very easy to do. Just you need to understand basic stuff and it will be done. So I'm looking for that particular session. Now come to the second part, which is very close to my heart, which is investment, right? So actually I've been approached for financial management. Now in the financial management there are 4 components. Your earning, your spending, your saving, and 4th is the investment. Now I already spoken about this, so I'm coming to the investment. So in investment, I'll be more organize one session on the equity investment, because I am somebody studied finance in IIMCAL and then working for last 7 years in finance area. Myself, my family money I manage. So I'm putting equity investment doing in equity for 9-10 years. So whatever I've done in last 7, 8, 9, 10 years, I'm gonna speak on that particular session. I will share one data, guys. There are 90% of the retail investor, those who putting money directly and buying stock, they are not making return, even the FD returns. So 90% of the retail investors, those are putting money in equity, earning less than their FD. Now there is a reason for this. I'm coming there. So, for example, if any one of you want to buy a shirt, you go to a store, you buy a cloth, right? In that particular cloth, what you do, you look at the quality, design, fittings, everything. Then you look at the price and say, hello, this shirt I want to buy, is that shirt worth 150 or 200 dirham? That means even before investing 150, 200 dirham for a shirt, you are thinking, you are analyzing. Now come to the equity investment that many of us do, right? How are investing in the equity market and directly buying stock? They are telling that my friend told me this company is going to do well, so I'm putting money, right? Somebody is saying that I read this in the newspaper, this company is going to do well, therefore I'm putting money. So basically your hard-earned money you are investing on a stock, you don't know about the company, right? So what suggestion has been given by this great man, Mr. Warren Buffett? He said any investment you do, these are 2 rules. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. What does it mean? It means that whenever you are doing one investment, you ask yourself, can I lose money out of this investment? Now how you can understand that without knowing about that particular company? So guys, it's very important, if anybody wants to try their hand with the equity investment, going to buy stock of their own, please let's have one basic session, understand some basic things, so that you also understand how to put money rather than doing a gambling game, right? Second thing, he said that it's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price rather than buying a fair company at a wonderful price. What does it mean? It means that we all know what is a wonderful company, right? But the problem is that wonderful company will only be available cheap, right? So what we do, because we understand little bit of valuation, we say, okay, this company has valued so much, I don't know if it's value or not, let's not buy this company, let's buy some other company. I'm giving one example, guys. We all working in the electronics field, right? What is the strongest brand? Apple, right? Even 5 years back, we joined Emacs, that was time also Apple was #1 brand in the world. Now the question is that how many of us, even when we're investing in equity market, has invested in Apple? I think hardly anyone, right? Look at the Apple has done. Apple in last 5 years has given 400% return, right? This is currently 2.1 trillion market cap company, right? It was 1/4 5 years back. So Apple, the product demand they have, the long queue outside the store, everybody understands how strong the brand is, how much money they are generating. So if you put money in Apple, you could have make money. But people don't do that. Now coming to the next point, stock, Amazon. Any one of us know Amazon is the largest e-commerce player. They are chugging out huge cash day in day out. But no one of us went there and put money into the Amazon, right? So guys, in that particular session, I want to discuss about that what are the basic things you should know before putting money in any company. What are the basic parameters to check, how to understand a basic balance sheet, cash flow and P&L statement of a company before you try your hand and try to put money directly to the equity market, right? Before I finish, I just want to request guys, the way I have taken this initiative to organize this session, I know many of among these people might be good at something. Please come forward, make this initiative a success so that we can learn from each other and we can grow, right? At the last, I want to just quote Mr. Steve Jobs. He said, learn continually, there is always one more thing to learn. So even you are busy with your work, you are learning so many things, CSR project, Gen Z, anything, you can also learn about a little bit of equity and finance, right? That also going to add value to your learning curve, right? Thank you everybody.